To work with the text in CSS, we have 10 important properties. You can apply CSS text styling properties to all HTML elements that contain text. Now I want to explain these properties and write them in the Visual Studio Code to understand you better. Here I created 2 paragraphs. I select first paragraph by class. Color property is used to set the color for a text. Color red. Reload browser. Next property is text align. This property is used to set a horizontal alignment of a text. A text can be left or right alignment, centered, and justified. Text align. Left, right. Refresh. And you see the result of text align. Next property is text decoration. This property is used to set or remove decorations from text. The value text decoration none is often used to remove underline from links. The other text decoration values are overline, line through, underline. Underline. Reload browser, and you can see the result of text decoration. And next property is text indent. This property is used to specify the indentation of the first line of a text. Its value is described using length indicator. I change text align to left. Reload. And text indent 10 pixel and reload again. You can see text indent effect here, and I increase it to 50 pixel. Reload again, and you see the effect of text indent in the first line. Next property is letter spacing. This property is used to specify the space between the character in a text. Its values are determined using length parameters. You can use positive indicators to increase the space between letter or a negative one to decrease that space. Letter spacing 10 pixel. And reload again, and you see the result of letter spacing in the first paragraph. Next property is line height. This property is used to specify the space between lines. You can use a specific length parameters or a simple number which is equal to the number of lines determine the value of line height. Line height 10. Reload. I decrease it to reload. And next property is direction. This property is used to change the text direction of an element. There are 2 values you get to choose from: LTR left to right and RTL right to left. The default version is set to left to right or LTR. And next property is word spacing. This property is used to specify the space between the word in a text. It's similar to letter spacing by design, but it lets us manipulation space between 2 words instead of 2 characters. You can use positive and negative value which are defined by length indicators. Word spacing 2 pixel, reload, and you see the result. I increase it, 10 pixel, reload again, and you see the result of 10 pixel word spacing. And the next property is text shadow. Text shadow property, add shadow to text. I set a shadow for this text. Text shadow, 1 pixel horizontal shadow, and vertical shadow 1 pixel, and color DDD. Save and reload. Maybe you cannot see the shadow, so I increase vertical and horizontal value 8 pixel and 2 pixel. Reload again. I also change the color of shadow to gray and reload. You can see the shadow. In the following sections, you will learn how to use the Chrome developer tools, and this will help you to build a professional shadow. And the last property is text transform. This property is used to specify uppercase or lowercase letters in a text. It can be used to turn everything into uppercase or lowercase letters, or capitalize the first letter of each word. Text transform, capitalize, and save and reload. You see the result. If I change to another value, lowercase, and you see all words converted to the lowercase. Now I want to dive into the exciting world of CSS fonts. There are 5 CSS font styling properties you should know: font family, font style, font size, font weight, and font variant. CSS font properties together with CSS text properties allow you to have full control over how your text look. I want to give you better understanding of CSS font styling properties. To define the font of a text, we use font family styling property. The font family property should be defined with multi-font name that act as a fallback system. If the browser could not recognize the first font, it tries the second font, and so on. Now I set font family for this paragraph. Font family, Time News, Times and Serif. I reload browser. I add Tahoma font in this line, Tahoma, and reload again. You can see font family result. And next property is font size. The font size property sets the size of the text. Font size 20 pixel, for example. Reload, and you can see the result. And next property is font weight. To define how secure characters appear, we use a CSS font styling property, font weight. It has a few possible values determined using keywords lighter, normal, bold, and bolder. I try it. Font weight, bold, and reload. You can see result. And the last property is font variant. This property specifies whether or not a text should be displayed in a small caps font. In a small caps font, all lowercase letters are converted to uppercase letters. However, the converted uppercase letters appears in a smaller font size than the original uppercase letters in the text. And I try it. Font variant, small caps, reload, and you see the result of this property on this paragraph. So in the next video, we will learn how to change list style in CSS.